Hi, Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times, Monday, November 30th. It's still raining last I looked. It may end someday or we're going to have to start building a boat. A criminal justice task force was meeting in Little Rock today with a coalition that's looking for ways to reform the criminal justice system, put fewer people in prison for less time, and send more people out of prison into productive lives. At least they're talking. No big solutions just yet. A sad piece of news, but bittersweet in a way. Fred Poe, the most famous travel agent in Arkansas, who founded his famous agency 54 years ago, died over the weekend, living as he would have wished to go. He had just arrived in Vancouver for a trip across Canada by rail. He was still traveling when he left us, and he leaves a lot of good memories behind. Piece of news out of western Arkansas: the state police arrested a deputy prosecuting attorney, Tom Tatum Sr., for a suspicion of driving while intoxicated. He wasn't jailed, and he didn't have to post bond to be released after breath alcohol test. The prosecuting attorney in that region, Tom Tatum Jr., had no comment on the case. More to come on that, I think, before it's over. The Little Rock City Board of Directors is set to vote tomorrow night on whether to increase the hotel room tax by 2 cents on the dollar. This would potentially pay for an expansion of the Arkansas Arts Center if voters at a special election in February would approve pledging this tax revenue to some bonds. The mayor tells me he wants to amend this to have the tax for the part of the Arts Center limited to what the current revenue is and have growth revenue go to other needs to meet some objections that have been raised to this. Alabama is going to have to pay $51,000 to pay legal fees for attempting to cut off Medicaid reimbursements to Planned Parenthood clinics in that state. Arkansas has also been sued. A judge here has also said they can't cut off Medicaid here. The state is still fighting it. Perhaps it's going to have to pay legal fees as well. Interesting poll over the weekend. It found that University of Arkansas faculty members lead the SEC in the disproportionate amounts that they devote to campaign contributions to Democratic candidates. The pollster that did this was conservative orientation. They called it liberal. Of course, Democrats in Arkansas have included Clintons and Mark Pryor. Some people are not exactly liberals, but still, is the UA faculty preferences a sign that they're liberal, or maybe just smarter than everybody else? Who knows? And speaking of polling, it's been a violent time. A man with a military-style rifle opened fire in a Planned Parenthood clinic in Colorado Springs over the weekend, killed 3, wounded 9 others. The University of Chicago had to shut today because of a threat of gun violence, and a person has been arrested for making that threat. Another interesting poll shows that the majority of American people don't want to register Muslims, as Donald Trump famously suggested, but they do think we ought to have a registry of people with firearms, which gives you some idea of where the people are, if not the political world. And finally, a note of gratitude. Today is the last day on the job for a dedicated public servant named Richard Davies. He had a journalism degree, but fortunately found a better thing to do with his life. He became director of the State Parks and Recreation Department. He spent more than 40 years there, more than 20 years as director under 5 very different governors. His amiable style and his ability to get along with a lot of people, and there's some pretty big personalities in the tourism business, and particularly his work in a group that got a dedicated sales tax. The tourism industry grew that agency from a small, terribly underfunded agency to a real great park system with a good marketing effort that contributes a lot to Arkansas's success and a business that's vital to our economic well-being, the tourism industry. So goodbye to Richard Davies. He's earned a good retirement. And if luck holds, his successor, Kane Webb, will be cut from the same mold. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.
You feel it in your heart, the spirit of Little Rock. We've had that spirit since 1927, helping build our city by producing decades of leaders in the heart of our state. We are the heart of business and innovation, the heart of politics and government, the heart of arts and culture, and in our city beats the heart of a Trojan. UALR, we are Little Rock's team and Little Rock's University.